Hey everybody, it's Tuesday morning, and I'm sure you're wide awake and happy, right? Happy to have it be Tuesday. The Mondays is gone. Monday is over, Tuesday is here. It's a good day, because you're with So Tell Us Time. Of course it's a good day. I'm sure you guys look forward to this all week long, all weekend. You're probably just like, oh, I'm just so excited for So Tell Us Time with Trevor and Troy. So today we are going to be talking about something that a lot of business owners struggle with. It's funny because a lot of times we end up spending our time on things that don't really make us money or aren't the most productive.
Yep.
Right? A lot of times we spend all of our time in the business. We're not working on the business. And so what does that mean? Well, it means that we're focusing on our weaknesses. And that just happens. And I get it, because I've worn all the hats. We've all worn all the hats, right? We've built these companies from scratch. We didn't go out and get funding. You know, we didn't spend somebody else's money. We did this ourselves. So we have wore all the hats, and we understand working in the business. We understand focusing on the weakness. And that's why we're talking about this today. Today's topic is strength versus weakness. Strength versus weakness. Very, very weak. We don't want to be focusing on the weakness. We want to be focusing on our strengths. Right, Troy?
Absolutely.
Because that's what's going to make us money. And I know that it's hard, and you're probably looking at going, well, do I really focus on the weaknesses? Well, we're going to talk about that today a little bit, and we're going to help you identify that, because you need to be spending your time where it is best spent to make you the most amount of money.
Yeah.
Right? All right, let's jump in.
Yeah. So I think the first thing is identifying, what are your strengths? And that's basically, what are you good at in your business?
Yep.
So I'm going to give you a list of like a couple of things just to, kind of get your mind going. And I want you to just ask yourself, am I good at this? Right? So are you good at sales? Mm-hmm. Is that where your strength is? Are you good at processes, putting things in place and automating things? Are you good at the organization of the business?
Yeah.
Making sure everything's organized and everything is being done exactly as it should be done. Here's a big one. Are you a good leader?
Yeah.
Is leadership your strength?
And let me tell you something. Just because you're a business owner doesn't mean you're a leader.
No, absolutely not.
And I'll tell you, as a general, in a certain industry that struggles with this, my dentists.
Yes.
I love you guys. I love you. I love my dentists. Don't get mad at me, my listeners. But dentists are great at being dentists, but they don't love leading the company.
Right.
And that's just the truth. They want to go back and do what they're really good at, which is good. It's good for them to focus on what they're good at.
Yeah.
But they've got to put somebody in place that actually is that leader to run the company.
Exactly.
And so the ones that don't recognize that try to lead the company, and they just...
Yeah. Another one would be like customer relationships. Are you really good at creating, maintaining relationships, right, that help you grow your business? Now, you're not going to be good at all of these things, right?
No.
Nobody's going to be good at all of these things.
Right.
And I want you to think about it for a second as a business. Like, let's say you're great at sales, right? You can go out and you can sell, ice to an Eskimo, whatever phrase you want to use, right? But you can sell it all day long. But you're bad at fulfilling on the back end. Are you going to have a successful company?
Right.
No, you're going to go out and you're going to sell the heck out of stuff. You're going to have all these orders, but you're never going to fulfill and actually, make money.
Well, that's exactly, I can tell you guys exactly how that works with our company. So we had, when it was Ron, Troy, and I, right? Just the three of us. Ron was the killer salesman.
Yep.
Troy was day-to-day operations and billing, right? And then I was fulfillment.
Yep.
So I would take care of building sites, marketing. I would take care of customer relations, so customer service. I was doing these three things. Troy was taking care of all the billing, making sure that the projects were getting done and on track, and the day-to-day operation of it. And then Ron, his whole job was to go out and sell it.
Yep.
So he would sell it like crazy, and then he'd bring it to us. Troy would organize it, get it all built, get everything taken care of, and then lay it out. And then I would take it and actually fulfill on it, right? So each one of us was good at a different piece that we've just talked about. Without one of us, we would not have been as successful as we were.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I couldn't have done what you do. I'm not good at that. I don't want to do that. It drives me nuts, right? And Ron could not have done what I do. And, you know, so all the way around, all three of us, we worked so well together. And that's why we've built such successful businesses over the years, because each one of us had our pieces and each one of us fulfilled on that.
Yeah, and it's important to understand that, you know, just because you know, like, for example, Ron was a great salesman, right? Now, did that mean that Trevor couldn't sell? No, you could absolutely sell, right? You were good at it. I could make sales.
Yep.
But was I the best salesman out of the company? No, I wasn't. So should I be spending my time doing sales, or should I be spending my time where my strength was?
Exactly.
And that's what we figured out very quickly in the business, and it worked out really, really well. So I want you to think about that. Think about those different things. Figure out what your strength is. Now, how can you do more of it? Right? What can you change in your business? What tasks can you take off of your plate and push to other people so that you can spend more time doing what you do? You know, being in what I call the strong zone, right? You know, where your strengths are. So for us, it was, what could we take off of Ron's plate so that he could just sell.
That's exactly right. Because when he first started that very first company back in '98, he was doing everything.
Yes.
He was selling, he was fulfilling, you know, he was doing it all and supporting it as well.
Yep.
And then I came on and I started to help with that. And then you came on and started to help with that. And then everybody got their roles. But the company couldn't grow until we did what we did, right? Until we all took our piece and then maximized that.
Yeah, exactly. And a perfect example of this, like taking something off your plate, like Ron used to go and sell it, and then he would try to collect all the data, all the information, like, here's what we're gonna, you know, here's what website they like, here's what we're gonna build, and he would try to do that to help out, right? To get all that information so that he could then turn it over to Trevor.
Yep.
But what we found was he spent a lot of time doing that, and that wasn't his expertise. Right? Which meant he spent so much more time working on that because it was a little bit harder for him, that he wasn't out doing sales.
Correct.
So once Trevor took that off his plate, Ron could just run like crazy and sell.
Yep.
That's what we're talking about. Okay, now let's flip this on the other side and let's identify your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because we've all got them. So now I want you to ask yourself, what do you struggle with in your business? And it's going to be funny. You might sound a little interesting, but I'm going to run down the exact same list. Is it sales?
Yeah.
Do you struggle closing sales? What about processes? Do you struggle with processes? Is everything disorganized and out of control? And it's all, you know, there's no automation to it. You know, what about organization? Are you disorganized? You know, are you always struggling to know what's supposed to be happening next? And where did I put this? And where did I file that? You know, are you struggling as a leader?
Yeah.
You know, because again, not everybody's a leader.
And that's okay. I know guys who have built successful businesses that have someone else as the CEO.
Yep.
I mean, they started the company, they know the business really well, but someone else is running that.
Exactly.
And then they're focused on what they're best at.
Absolutely. And then again, the other one, customer relationships. You know, do you struggle with that, maintaining those relationships? So I want you to think about those. Where do you struggle? And then how can you fix it? How can you fix that? Now, we're going to give you a couple solutions, and the solution is not, you know, just get better at it.
No. Waste time. Watch more YouTube videos.
Yeah. No. So the solutions are, find a person.
Yeah.
To fix it.
Absolutely.
Right? Find the right person.
Don't be afraid to take that step and get those employees, even if you've had issues in the past.
Yep.
And, you know, and you've given up on employees. No, they're out there. There's really good. We have created such a phenomenal team, and it has taken years upon years to get the right people, but we have such an awesome team here at Sotellus, and we kick butt now.
Yeah.
And, you know, but it's taken years.
Exactly.
And a lot of headache, but now it's worth it.
Right. And it might be employees. It might be contractors.
Yeah.
You know, for example, back in the day, I used to do all of our bookkeeping for the company.
Yeah.
You know, And as I got busier and busier and I found my skill set, bookkeeping was not my skill set.
Right.
And it was not where I should be spending my time. So we outsource our bookkeeping
Right.
to somebody else. And it doesn't cost us that much money.
No.
But it saves a ton of time.
And that's something to look at, is because a lot of guys are going to run their books, through QuickBooks or something like that. Unless you are teeny tiny and you don't have a lot of write-offs and you don't have a lot of charges every month and everything like that, that's fine. But if you do, you need to outsource that.
Exactly.
We're a big company. Revenue-wise, we're a big company. Client-wise, we're a big company. And we don't even have an in-house person who takes care of that.
No.
We outsource that.
Exactly.
And we have thousands and thousands of charges and all these different things that have to be, but it's very inexpensive
Exactly.
to outsource it.
So find the right person. So again, whether it's marketing, you need help with your marketing, whether it's sales, maybe you're not good at sales, but you're great at providing customer service, find a salesperson.
Yep.
To close the sale, and then you do what you do best.
That's right. I know a guy that had a ton of leads in landscaping and artificial grass, but he just didn't have time to close it. Was he a good salesman? Yes, he was a good salesman, but he also had to fulfill on it, right? And so what he did is he went out and found actually a competitor that had a good salesman, and he got him. Came and took him away. He offered him something better. And so now they're able to grow that company and do better because he could have sold, yes, but he just couldn't have grown if he was going to sell and fulfill and manage, right?
Exactly.
So
another thing you can do is find a program. Maybe it's not a person you need, maybe it's a program that can fix it.
Right.
And Trevor actually brought up a really good point, like QuickBooks Online, right? You recently did that in another company you own.
My little consultant company.
Yeah. And how easy was that compared to manually doing it?
Yeah, I started creating like a spreadsheet, and I was like, 'cause I'm like, there's not that many charges, there's not that much, blah, blah, blah. And then I quickly realized, like, this is out of control. This is silly. Signed up for QuickBooks Online. Man, that thing connected up to my bank account, sucked all my charges and all my write-offs and deductions, all of that in, and started line iteming it for me. And then all I had to do was go in and say, yes, this is that. Yes, this is that. Yeah, nope, that's not that. Change that category. And once I did that, now it knows pretty much my whole business. So every time there's charges, recurring charges, all that kind of stuff, it just took away such a big headache. And then at the end of the year, when my accountant came to me and said, hey, I need to know what the write-offs are, blah, 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 I just said, here, let me make you a manager of my QuickBooks. And then he was able to go in, get the data he needed, and made my life, heavenly.
Yeah, exactly. So you could have hired a person, a bookkeeper, right? But you didn't need a bookkeeper. You just needed a program to take care of that.
Yep. And it took me about 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Sotellus, we need a bookkeeper to do that. So it's a different thing. It might be a person, it might be a program. Same thing, like maybe it's follow-up and fulfillment. If you're really bad at following up with prospects and clients and making sure that you're communicating with them, then get a program.
Yeah. Well, and let me put it this way, because people often say, well, this is how big I am. What should I do? And so just to give you like my consulting company does hundreds of thousands a year.
Yeah.
And I can run it through QuickBooks myself. It took me 20 minutes to set up, and it literally is so automated. Yeah. It's awesome. Sotellus does millions of dollars a year, and we need somebody outsourced. With millions of dollars a year, though, we don't need an in-house person.
Exactly.
Right? So that gives you an idea. Now, if you're up in that, $20 to $30 million range, of course, you're probably going to have an in-house guy or two that's doing everything for you. But that just kind of gives you a range of, like, if you're doing hundreds of thousands a year, you can easily do it yourself with QuickBooks. If you're doing millions, then you might outsource it. And then if you're doing tens of millions or more, then you're going to definitely have in-house people.
Exactly. And the point is, you want to take a look at where your weakness is, and you want to ask yourself, do I need a person?
Yep.
Or do I need a program to fix this weakness?
And then I'll add in there, sometimes it's a combination of the two.
Yep.
So with Sotellus, when it was time for Ron to retire, we knew this was coming.
Yep.
So we created a system and process, sales process and system. And then we took people and put them into that, sales guys, right?
Yeah.
To replace Ron. So what Ron did all those years was much more manual than what we did when we knew his retirement was coming. So it forced us to, make those steps and create and be creative. So we took what he did manually, we automated that, and then we got sales guys in. And now it's like where for one guy, you can have a couple, 2, 3 guys running and doing the same thing. And then the system is way more. And I mean, we're selling so much more now. Not that Ron was a killer salesman. In fact, I still, even though he's retired, I make him come to some of these events with me because he's so good at sales. It's amazing. One of those guys that can sell snow to an Eskimo. But without that, if he would have had the automation that we were forced to create, right? It's those growing pains, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't do things until we're forced to do it. And so what we're trying to help you with, so Tell Us Time, is to make these steps before you're forced to do it, because then there's definitely some growing pains there, whereas it could be a little bit easier. And so if we would have had that automation with Ron, double or triple his sales.
Well, and the other thing too is that this is important to understand too. Ron was an amazing salesman, right? 40 something years, 50 years of experience selling. Now, we needed to bring in people that were not going to have 40 or 50 years of experience.
Right.
So what we had to do was we had to create a system, a program that would help them be like Ron naturally was. He was great at it. He was great at following up. He was great at taking care of the clients and closing the sales.
Yeah.
So, but new guys that don't have that experience, right? We needed to create a system that was in place that would automatically send out the emails and prompt them to do the right thing at the right time.
Yeah, because if you look at Ron, not only was he was a door-to-door salesman back in the day, then he was a business-to-business salesman back in the day, and then he started his own company, and then he grew a business, so he really understood the company side of it. I mean, we're going to be bringing in guys. Our sales guys are all under 27 years old.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be bringing in guys that they had sales experience, but not like what Ron had, and they'd never built a company before either.
Exactly.
So we needed to have that same, knowledge built into a system, and then we could have the guys that could just sell and do a good job. And
Exactly.
they do. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. All right. So the homework this week is to identify one weakness that you have in your company and either find a person or a program or a combination of the two to fix that weakness this week.
Awesome. Guys, this is a really good one. Pretty simple, pretty quick, but I'm telling you, if you will implement this, you will grow. And if you'll start doing these little things along the way instead of when you're forced to, man, over the years, we've really learned through pain that the directions we want to go, the things we want to do, the things we don't want to do, and then grow and move forward before you're forced to. And it is so much smoother and better, and you guys will just love it. All right. Well, we love you guys. We're so excited to be with you every Tuesday morning. You know this. We hope that you guys have a phenomenal week. We will catch you guys next week. Same time, same place. We love ya. We'll talk to you guys later on So Tell Us Time.